What's happened with Columbia is it's an incredibly successful community, and now it's grown to the point where it really needs to have a heart, a center, a gateway. And what marks those, if you look at any successful urban environment, any successful place where people live together, is that the cultural amenities are actually clustered together. You'd like to have a library, performing arts, visual arts, historic places, all clustered in the same area. When they're clustered, then that encourages private sector amenities like restaurants and maybe jazz clubs and coffee shops to locate there. The clustering is really essential to create a real heart for any community. Critical mass is very well illustrated in Columbia right now by your incredibly successful shopping center. I mean, that center is a fantastic success. It's one of the great successes of the region and statistically, I think, of the country. And it shows the benefit of having a critical mass of the right kind of stores, the right balance with parking, good access, and all the qualities that make it very successful. Culture is certainly different, but it's not all that different. One cultural attraction like one store does not make a destination. It's not perceived by the consumer, the cultural consumer, as being worth the time. And our biggest challenge right now with any kind of consumer is the time challenge. There are also economic challenges, but it's a time challenge. And so it's very important to have a cluster of complementary cultural amenities, including some retail, including some food service amenities, including parkland and relaxation area, so that people perceive that, well, yeah, I'm going to go there because even if I don't like the children's theater, I'm going to be able to go to the library and look at a magazine. It's very important that people feel that their time is going to be well used when they go somewhere. Waterfronts, be they lakefronts or riverfronts or oceanfronts, are wonderful amenities in communities. Everybody loves them. You enjoy walking, promenading along a waterfront, maybe bicycling or whatever you're sauntering, whatever you like to do. You enjoy also sitting and having a coffee by a waterfront. But a waterfront is essentially never a hub. I know this sounds odd because we all love waterfronts, but it can't be a hub because for a very simple and logical reason. Waterfronts are one-sided and hubs are multi-sided. And you only have one side of a waterfront. And so you can't get large aggregations of people there. Waterfront is never a natural meeting place. And if you look historically at the development of cities and places where people live, that's also the case. So the waterfront is a great amenity. I think it can be improved and be made more lively, but it's not really a logical gateway or a logical hub for the future. Part of any kind of creative city these days, or creative town, or creative small city, however Columbia chooses to reposition itself, is to create spaces where people just bump into each other. A library is a space like that. A cluster of cultural buildings is a space like that. Walking along a waterfront can be a space like that, although it's somewhat less intense. It's certainly one of those types of spaces. And I think that understanding the importance of, I gather this interview is for YouTube or it's for multimedia uses. That's one kind of communication, but the best kind of communication is just bumping into somebody downtown. Oh, you see them. I always wanted to talk to you about this idea. People create ideas. When you create ideas, you create wealth, you create problem solving, and you create a better community. So that's very important. When you have a big city, you have the luxury of saying you don't need another destination. I mean, if you're New York or if you're Boston, the destinations have been there for many, many, many years, and they're destinations, and they're well known and well publicized. In the case of Columbia, which I think people don't see as a destination except maybe as a shopping destination or a great place if you have friends or relatives to visit, you really do need to develop some destinations that will be written about, that will be celebrated. And I think that one of the great opportunities is actually your library. It's extremely well used. It's something normal. Libraries are normal. Many communities have them. But I think that Columbia has the opportunity to develop something that we're calling There would be a destination library where sometimes they're called discovery libraries, sometimes they're called experience libraries, where there's a higher quality of design, where maybe there's special children's area, teen areas, adult areas of the library. The library becomes an experience, and I think would become a regional destination in that way. Well, an experience library is something that was invented, I'm pretty sure it was invented in Cerritos, California, which is in Southern California. And it's a library that, if you like, uses some of the techniques of exhibition design, some of the techniques of the Walt Disney Corporation to create not just shelves with books, but also places that you want to be. So, for example, in an experience library, you might combine an aquarium with the children's library, or you might borrow artifacts from a museum in Baltimore that wants to reach out and partner with Columbia and actually have exhibits in the library so that you could be relating, reading, new media. Libraries are very strong these days on new media, with museum experiences, with children's museum experiences, with activities, and really make it a hub of life. Libraries are changing. In many cities in America today have built fantastic new libraries. They're not all experience libraries, but I'd like to mention two others. San Francisco has a new library, and actually Seattle has a fantastic new library. These libraries have become community hubs. They're located in a kind of arts district of both cities. In the case of Seattle, the new library is located quite near their concert hall. People like to go and just have a coffee and read books. Their libraries have so many more functions. People use them for internet access. People use them for communication. The whole area of self-help, job hunting, personal transformation. Libraries are very different places than they were, and they're very heavily used. So I think for Columbia, which already has a successful library, I always think that communities should build on their success. Don't just grab something from somewhere else. You have a successful library. You have a great library, and it's outgrown its building. It has more users than that building can actually handle, and so that's one of the reasons why I think it's a superb opportunity.